Hi, it's Dr. Nancy Zare, and I want to welcome you to another edition where I interview some of my favorite colleagues from Commerce Connection. It's a chapter of BNI, Business Network International. If you are a business owner and you are looking for word of mouth referrals as a way to up-level at your business, augment, expand, get more clients, then you absolutely need to come, be my guest, and visit our chapter. We meet Wednesday mornings from 7 to 8:30 a.m. Normally we'd meet in person in Wayland, but during this time period, we're on Zoom. What could be more convenient for you? So let me introduce, without further introduction, one of my favorite psychologists, Dr. Robert BuckWeaver. Buck, tell us about what it is you do.
Well, we've been in business for 30 years, providing services to children and families and adults with learning difficulties and challenges, anxiety, difficulties with relationships. And we just very much are enjoying our remote consultation with kids and families these days.
I know that, in fact, he has been doing remote work via Skype or other means, for years. So this is nothing new. But Buck, what is new, I think, is the heightened anxiety that people are feeling. So would you address that for a moment?
Yes, it's really very important to realize that this is a time when people need to be accepting of very intense feelings of anxiety, fears, difficulties, being isolated. This is not the usual normal way. So it's very important when you're feeling so anxious and out of control is to do things that allow you to feel much more in control. For example, it's really important to have a schedule. It's really important to make sure that you're eating and sleeping and taking care of yourself and your kids, that you're taking breaks as you need them. Deep breathing is very important. And one of the things that I suggest to people a lot is it's really good to help others at a time like this. Any little bit of things that you can do for anybody else is a really good way to focus on the here and now and not all of the disastrous news that we're hearing. In fact, even unplugging is so important.
It is true.
Go a day or two without listening to the news. Your brain really needs to relax during this time as much as possible. Even turning your phone off for a little bit is a good idea.
Exactly. So
Yes.
I think people would be interested to know a little bit about your background. And what I mean by that, Buck, is I know that you have a story as to how it is that you happen to be in this field, because life was not so easy for little Buck when he was growing up. Am I right?
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah, I have very severe dyslexia and attention deficit and organization difficulties. And being 67-ish now, I was very fortunate to be diagnosed at Mass General Hospital when I was in first grade. All along, my parents and my teachers and so forth, they knew about my learning problems, but I never felt smart, ever. I never could do what everybody else could do. So one of the things that was very, very helpful for me is to learn how to advocate for myself in all of my classes, to say that I could do a lot better verbally than I could with writing or reading. So I had other people read to me, and I had other people be able to transcribe for me, because I really enjoyed learning, and I did a lot of my learning through discussion with other people. So all the way through college and graduate school, all the way through getting a PhD, and finally being at Harvard Medical School for my neuropsychological training, I've always figured out the best way to get through whatever the challenges are. And that's what I try to bring to kids and families these days. There's no reason to be pessimistic. There's all the kinds of reasons to use your strengths to compensate for any challenges that you have.
So Buck just said one of the most important words that he and I kind of embrace and share together, and that's the word strengths. Because by focusing on one strength, you can actually increase that, make that something that allows you to overcome and go around obstacles that you may be facing. Am I right?
Yes, and the other part is one of the side effects is the great confidence that you have, because you begin to realize that the more you ask for help, the more pleasurable it is for other people. And a lot of us don't like asking for help, but I realized that I love to help people. Everybody loves to help people, and so it's really important to be able to ask people for help for what you need, and in fact, to use your strengths to get in and around any problems that you have.
So I have on the screen right now, Buck, the location of the Weaver Center. It's Boston Post Road. Is it number 38, 37?
No, it's 30 Boston Post Road.
Oh, 30 Boston Post Road.
Right across from the Red
Coach, yeah, the Coach and Grill. Yes, exactly. And again, for anyone considering the fact that perhaps right now is a very stressful time, you might want to reach out to Buck. He is available, as are other members of the clinic there. They are a strength-based organization, so they're going to give you real concrete suggestions for how you can handle the stress you may be experiencing, or perhaps it's another member of your family. And they excel in helping young people in school to learn what's called executive functioning. And if you haven't learned it as an adult, again, they can also help you with that. So any last thoughts, Buck? Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I wanted to say that one of the things that we're doing now with our executive function coaches and our tutors is distance education for kids and families. Some are wanting not to lose the gains that they made in their special education programs, and regression is one of the things that happens. So one of the things that's been most helpful is to have kids get extra special education remotely. So it's just a nice thing that we're finding that families are really liking, and to provide the structure at this time when you're cooped up otherwise, families to get along better.
Great. So as I close out this segment, just reflect back a moment on that voice that you just heard, soothing, calm. It makes you feel comfortable. You can open up. You can disclose all sorts of things when you know that there's somebody like Buck available to help you get through any of life's challenges. So to your good health, Dr. Nancy Zare.
Thank you very much, Nancy. You're the best.
Okay, I ended the recording, so they didn't hear that, but that's fine.
But I just want you to know that you're the best.
Thank you. So how did that go? Did you
very
like
good.
it?
Oh,
Okay.
very good. You're just fantastic. You're easy to talk to.
So are you.
How did you think it went?
I thought it went well too. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. That's
yeah.
good.
I mean, I told you I'd do it a little longer because I felt that it might be helpful for people during this time period to hear a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, I'll be doing a 10-minute education this Wednesday on the virus. It's Alan called me and said that, rather than doing his 10-minute talk, he thought it would be more interesting if, we all had an opportunity to talk about what's going on with us these days.
Well, I know you'll approach it with sensitivity. I personally, just like you talked about unplugging, it reminds me of a situation which you're not aware of. I've been diagnosed with cancer at least twice in my life, and I made it a choice that I was not going to have cancer.
Yeah.
I may have cancerous cells, but I wasn't going to own it.
Right.
And I still don't own it to the extent that, interestingly enough, when I have to fill out a health chart about my health, I neglect to put that down because I never owned it.
Right. No,
And
but
so
that's important.
it's the same with what's going on right now.
Yes.
I
Right.
just don't want to own. I mean, it's not that I am doing anything crazy or rash. I'm
Right.
following the instructions of the government. I've
Right.
been inside now for nearly 4 weeks, but I don't want to own it because this is the craziest part.
Right, right, right. Well, it's a really important thing is to separate yourself as a person from all that's going on. Just like we say, separate yourself from your learning problems or everything else. Those are things that you are facing when you need to. When you don't need to, unplug, disown.
Hmm.
You know, you want to make sure that you are separate from all of the factors that otherwise affect you.
Hmm.
That distance is really healthy, really healthy.
Right, right. All right, so I will send you the recording.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Please publicize it, okay?
You bet. I'm going to put it everywhere I can.
All righty.
You bet. Bye bye, Nancy. Love you big time.
Love you too. Bye-bye.